and if you're really serious about becoming the better version of yourself, becoming who you want to be, who you want to feel, and how you want to feel, then you really just gotta take action. What's up, fam? Welcome back to another Hockbot session. And as you can tell, the Hockbot session is pretty upgraded, right? Anyway, welcome back to another Hockbot session. We are going electronic, so obviously, there's an upgrade. I don't know how long more I can be using this, but anyway, that's not the main point. So let's get to the question of the day, right? Some of you are lost. Some of you might be finding a way back to your fitness, fat loss, weight loss journey, whatever, but you just don't know how to start. You don't know where to start. Okay, so let's help get you started. For those of you who are already starting pretty advanced, already pretty much past the first level, this may not be for you. But who knows, if you're stuck, this might be helpful. Okay, so let's get at it. Let me know if you can hear me, let me know if you can see me, because this is a new tag that I'm using, right? So if you can't see me, please let me know. Anyway, so let's get started with how do you get started, right? So first step, okay, let's go for a blue point. All right, so obviously when you get started, you have your training, your workouts. All right, the second thing, it's you have your nutrition. So honestly speaking, these two, it's like that's it, right? Like any other things, you don't have to think about, you don't have to worry about until you get all this down. Okay, so let's talk about training first. Okay, I think like someone just mentioned, there's so much information out there. What's the best thing to do? So I'm not going to tell you what's the best thing because everyone's going to be kind of different. And honestly speaking, there's no such thing as the best thing. I'm going to repeat this 100 times. There's no such thing as perfect thing. There's no such thing as the best thing. Okay. And I don't really want to get into the whole perfection thing. So let's start with the training aspect. Okay, let's go ahead with green. Let's start with the training aspect. How should you start? All right. First things first, you want to figure out if you're working out from home or from the gym, right? Always go for something that's convenient. Okay, so you just go for convenience. Don't worry about if you are spending, you should be spending more money to go to the gym and stuff like that. Honestly speaking, just do whatever is the most convenient for you. So if let's say you're working out from home, okay, now that you know that, the second thing you want to do is just start somewhere. Okay, too many people are working out like crazy when they start. Right, so when you start at where you're at, not where you left off. If that's clear. Okay, not where you left off. Alright, this is really important because I think a lot of you are thinking about, like, oh shit, I actually was able to work out like really intensely months ago, right? I should try to get back to it right away. No, you shouldn't. Okay, most of you probably wouldn't be able to, especially if you haven't been working out regularly in the past couple of months. Right, just start at where you're at. Okay, this is really important. Like if you used to work out 4 times a week, cool. All right, that's where you left off. Great. But for now, you know what? If you just want to get back to the groove of things, get started with at least 2 days, 3 days. I would suggest going for 3 days. Okay, and go for a full body split. Okay, I'm not talking to competitors here. I'm not talking to the advanced people here. I'm talking to those who are just kind of starting out. You definitely want to go for workouts that are full body. Okay, target the whole body. This will help you to shift your fat from the belly area. Okay, because if you've not been moving a lot, all the fat cells pretty much moved to the belly. So if you're just starting out and you want to see obvious changes, not saying that you should always focus on that, but you will see the most obvious changes once you start to use your muscles in the different areas, and that will shift your belly fat over to those areas. Okay, so go for something convenient, right? Home or gym. All right, and then after that, just start where you're at. okay, not where you left off. And then of course, go to for whole body, right? Don't spend too much time on abs. Don't spend too much time on what else? Honestly, yeah, just don't spend too much time on abs, okay? Just focus on full body. Even if it's boring, go for this as your main like dish, okay? For the dessert, for the appetizer, go ahead with the abs. But honestly speaking, abs are not gonna give you the most bang for your buck. But if you are finding it hard to lose weight, lose fat, okay? So that is the training part, that is the nutrition part. And then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna add a page here for your nutrition. Okay, so let's go for this. Second part here is nutrition. All right. For your nutrition, what you want to do is actually go ahead with something really simple. Okay, this is not exactly how our members do it, because for our members we do a bit more systematic, and a bit more, well, I would say a bit more scientifically. Okay, but this is going to be good to start, right? You want to start with portion sizing. Okay, if you don't want to worry about calorie tracking, which honestly speaking is pretty easy as long as you just kind of use an app like MyFitnessPal, just start with portion sizing. So whatever amount that you've been eating, okay, take note of it, right? You could take pictures and just kind of just like see how much you're kind of eating, but just take note of how much you're eating, okay, and then portion size in the sense that next week, okay, once you want to start getting the growth of your nutrition, just reduce the portion for certain food items, right? You could have either a certain amount of carbs, a certain portion of fats, protein. Go ahead and portion size that. Okay, so typically most people are not actually having enough protein, so I'll definitely suggest portion sizing and changing up your carbs sources, okay, or whatever fat sources you're actually having also. So yeah, like I said, this is my recommendation for those of you who are just starting off, okay, and typically people who aren't really noticing things. The amount of protein you're having is probably not a lot anyway, so just go ahead and portion size your carb sources first, okay. And like I mentioned a lot of times, it's not because carbs are bad, it's just that typically carbs don't make you feel full, okay. And what's going to happen is you typically will eat a lot of calories without noticing it. So by portion sizing, you can at least systematically reduce the amount of calories you're having from carbs, okay. So that is my recommendation, all right, for getting started. And in terms of nutrition, just stick, because if you're not tracking your calories, probably best to portion size plus stick to similar foods every couple of days, right? Change it up when you're kind of bored, but if you want to keep things simple, you don't overwhelm yourself, just go ahead and keep things pretty similar for a couple of days here and there. You don't have to cook, but if you do cook, you know what, go for it. All right. Okay, so that is pretty much it. Like I mentioned, for those of you who are lost, let me frame this. For those of you who are lost, okay, how do you get started? So like I mentioned, two aspects, training and nutrition. For the training side, just go ahead with convenience first, right? If you want to work out, it's more convenient for you to start at home, please do that. If it's more convenient for you to start in the gym, then go ahead, right? Just whatever is more convenient, whatever is more likely for you to stick to, go for that. And then the second thing is really just start, okay, and start at where you're at, not where you left off. Okay, like I said, this is really important. A lot of you are struggling because you push yourself really hard. You force yourself to do what you used to be able to do, not realizing that your body has changed, which is okay, but just take note that you don't have to, all right? And then of course the third thing, it's for most of you, you are gonna have a better chance losing weight, losing fat if you go for something that is full body and don't waste your time with abs, okay? And then we talked about nutrition. All right, the simplest way for you to really get started, you don't have to track your foods. If you want, that would be great, because then you have a better understanding. But you can start portion sizing. All right, look at how much carbs, fats, protein you're actually having. This is something that we teach our members, okay, but just really simply just go ahead and take a look at your you take a snapshot of your meal, right? Just take a look at it. Okay, kind of just Google what is carbs, what is fats, what is protein. Like I said, we kind of go into details in our coaching program, but for you, you can just go ahead and do that and then kind of understand what is your carbs, what is your fats, what's your protein. And like I mentioned, probably a good idea is to portion size from your carb sources first, because most of you aren't probably having enough protein anyway. Okay. Great. So I hope that was helpful. Like I said, this was a bit more of a beginner thing. For those of you who are really serious about getting back into it, okay, this is going to be helpful. And like I said, at the end of the day, you don't want to focus on what's perfect or what's the best. Okay, because honestly speaking, you are procrastinating because of this whole perfectionism thing. And if you continue to do that, okay, honestly, you're not going to get anywhere. And I want to really ask you to dig deep and reflect. Like, if you don't start, what is it going to cost you, right? If you just get started, how much better can you feel? Yeah, so realize that at some point, maybe it was a reason that you couldn't get started. But after some time, honestly speaking, is it becoming more of an excuse? Okay, and this is really important. If it's already causing you pain, drop in confidence, you're just not moving well, then it's definitely something you need to really reflect on and realize that your procrastination because of perfectionism is really just an excuse. And if you're really, really serious about becoming the better version of yourself, becoming who you want to be, who you want to feel, and how you want to feel, then you really just got to take action. Okay?